their mind a week later when the infamous Antonio Brown worked his way out of Oakland. Thomas telling the New York Daily News this: "It was insulting for sure. Once I got cut, I could have just come here to the Jets and not stay there and re-sign. When they re-signed me, I was thinking that I was good. 2 weeks later, I was gone. So it's like, why did you waste my time? Because at the end of the day, it was kind of a waste of time for me." Former Patriot in the house, our boy Damian Woody. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
How we doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling that outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Molly's been getting a lot of compliments recently on these outfits.
Thank you.
Yes, I hear pajamas at work are in.
It's a vibe, Max. It's a vibe. It's comfortable. It's chic. I'm with it. I hope the trend lasts. Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. Do these comments say more about Demaryius Thomas or the Patriots?
I think it says more about Demaryius Thomas. We know who the Patriots are. You know what? They're champions. And they're cold-blooded and pragmatic in their approach towards capturing championships. It's something that we repeatedly have said on this show on many, many occasions about Bill Belichick and on down. So let's get that out the way. It says more about Demaryius Thomas because it shows that, you know, he's a bit delusional, to be kind. And I only say that, I'm not trying to insult him in any way, because he had a 5-year stretch from 2012 to 2016 where he was all pro caliber and just flat out balling. And so he's no scrub or anything like that. But I call him delusional because his complaints about the Patriots, you appear to be the only individual that didn't know any better. The fact of the matter is you're not a star any longer. And when you're not a star and you're not a high-end producer, or you've played in 3 games and you have 9 receptions for 108 yards on the season, and it's been years since you've had a 1,000-yard season, what the hell do you expect? We saw Demaryius Thomas as an all-pro. We saw him perform in the Super Bowl. He had 13 catches for 118 yards in a Super Bowl. It happens to be one they lost to Seattle and the Legion of Boom 43-8. Then a couple of years later, we saw him in the Super Bowl where his team actually beat the Carolina Panthers with Cam Newton, and he won a Super Bowl ring. But that Super Bowl, he had 1 reception for 8 yards. And the bottom line is we haven't heard much from him since. And so when you have really, really diminished in the eyes of folks in terms of your talent level and what you potentially bring to the table, what are you going to expect from a team like the New England Patriots, who are all about winning and all about themselves as a brand, as an organization, and very little of it is about the individual? I think he's a bit delusional if he expected anything different than what he got, because he's not a high-end producer anymore.
Well, of course he is. That's what happens to stars as they age. It's hard for the ego to give it up. Look, it's been a long time since he and Emmanuel Sanders were like, whoa, that might be the best tandem in the NFL at receiver. It's been a while since then. And Demaryius Thomas was never a top 3 guy, but he was a very, very good player for a while. And of course, a guy like that expects to be treated with a certain amount of respect. And so he's telling on himself in a way, but Stephen A., that's something that happens as guys age. What it really says about the Patriots, to me, is something that they've always said. And it's like, you know, what's the best way? The Patriot way, because the record speaks for itself. The Belichick way, completely unsentimental. Like completely unsentimental. They evaluate you every week. It's the reason that they say, well, how are you going to beat the Patriots? I don't know what Patriots team is going to show up. You know what the Patriots do? They're a different team every week because they look at Belichick looks at the other team and he says, okay, we're going to take the best thing they do away from them. And then the second best thing they do away. Beat us with the third best thing you do. And if you can do that, I tip my cap. You got us, right? That's why Mario Manningham caught the ball, and I'm sure Belichick can live with that. Well, look, I said if he could beat us, he could beat us. And he did. So what that means is he's looking at what he has, the resources he has on the team, and how he can best deploy them week to week. And if you're Demaryius Thomas and Antonio Brown becomes available, guess what? That's the way it goes. And Belichick's got too many other details to worry about, you know, personally telling them. Edelman said recently he's only talked to Bill Belichick a couple of times. Like, that's the way he runs it, completely unsentimentally, and it says something about the Patriots way.
I don't even understand how Demaryius Thomas is shocked or have these type of feelings, because everyone around the league knows how the Patriots operate. The Patriots are all about business, okay? This is the same Patriots team when I was with the Patriots that traded Lloyd Malloy the week of the week of the first week 1. Like, traded our captain away to a division rival in the Buffalo Bills.
Right before the season.
And right before the season started, like
Cold-blooded.
cold-blooded. And you mean to tell me that you're going to be feeling some type of way when you're in your skill set has diminished to the point
Charlie
where
Murphy, what did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Right.
Slap.
It's just like I don't understand like his position and how you could get this emotional about a decision by the Patriots where it's just business for the Patriots. It's not personal. Your skills. That's why I always say with players, get it while you can. When you have leverage, flex your leverage while you can, because ultimately, Father Time comes in and you're in a position of a Demaryius Thomas where your skill set is diminished, and now all the leverage goes towards the team.
How many conversations did you have with Belichick in your time there?
I might have had like a couple. One was in like the training room when I'm going to play, and then the next minute was telling me that, hey man, you're out of our price range. See ya. And that was it. So like none of this stuff surprised him at all.
And how did you take it?
How many years did you play in New England?
I played 5 years in New England.
And you had 2 conversations with him?
Like a couple conversations, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you won 2 Super Bowls.
I won 2 Super Bowls.
As a key contributor.
But you just knew that it's business, man. Like that's
No,
what
I
it
know
is in
what
New
you
England.
mean.
It's business. So I don't
It
understand.
happens in the TV business too.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah, 100%. My goodness. Oh
Well,
my
I think what can't be ignored is that what happens is that I'm quite sure you'll find a plethora of coaches that have extensive conversations with Bill Belichick. But, you know, there's a chain of command that comes into consideration. If he's somebody that's going to have to make a decision about your career, whether you stay on the team, how much you get paid, whether it's time to let you go or whatever, I think that, you know, he's fixated on keeping a healthy distance from you. But I don't know Bill Belichick. This is based on the conversations that I've had with people who have played for him. He has respect and appreciation for those who are high-end producers and come through for him. But in terms of those personal relationships, he might cultivate one with you as a player once you leave, or for the most part, he's having relationships with contemporaries of his. But guys that played for him and what have you, he keeps a healthy distance because he knows that your day is going to come sooner than later when he's going to have to let you go. So why build and cultivate a relationship when he knows that he's going to have to do something? That's the impression that I get from listening to Damian Woody and others who have played for him. Am I wrong, Damian?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, listen, we're talking about the same Bill Belichick that traded away, a Richard Seymour who was playing at an all-pro level to the Oakland Raiders. I mean, the list goes on and on of like big-time Patriot names that he's gotten rid of before they were ready to go. Mm-hmm. So for Demaryius Thomas to feel this way, it's really kind of puzzling. He shouldn't be shocked just given Bill Belichick's track record.
When I say unsentimental, you know, a year too early rather than a year too late and then restock your draft stock and then do what you got to do. Belichick, it's not just like you say Richard Seymour's still playing at a high level or this one playing at a high level, but it's also like they sit down clearly and say, but is it worth what he's getting paid? As you said, Damian, like you're still good, you're really good, but not what they want to pay you. They think they can find someone else to do a lot of what you do for a lot cheaper. And so when you talk about name brands in the NFL, this really separates the really good GMs and talent evaluators from everyone else. The name brand means nothing to them. They're simply evaluating what you can and can't do on a week-to-week basis.
You know what's on my mind that I think needs to be said about Bill Belichick? And I don't think anybody has said what I'm about to say. All of that noise about him wanting to move beyond Tom Brady and head into the Jimmy Garoppolo era. Remember that discussion we had, Max, and all of that stuff? I think that's something that Bill Belichick actually enjoyed. Because if you have the noise out there saying that he was willing to get rid of Tom Brady, and so much so that Robert Kraft had to intervene and force him to keep Tom Brady and then let go of Jimmy Garoppolo, who is going to feel safe as a member of the New England Patriots? This man was willing to let go of Tom Brady. So you know that sends the message to everybody else. Oh, none of us are safe if it's up to Bill. None of us.
None of you. No one's safe. Even if you're still performing, even if Belichick just thinks, yeah, you're performing now, but you might not be in a year.
100%. Bill Belichick not in the business of making friends. All right, guys. The bad news for Carson Wentz, his team is only 3-3. The good news, he's in first place. Can we